And the same thing with asthma. If they haven't been outside, exposed to the outside air a lot, and or slightly polluted air, a little, like maybe who knows when you start your car, your car exhaust. I don't know, but you know.
I had friends that moved from
Yeah.
out west to the Maritimes, and then their asthma kicked in
Oh,
because they went
yeah.
from dry air to
I heard
moist
that
air.
too.
Yeah.
Or
the
you know, like
weather
dust
is
in the air.
different
Yeah.
When there's a
up
wind,
there.
it's windy out, and you get the dust, and you don't breathe it in, and pollen.
But I had asthma and bronchitis as a kid. I outgrew both.
Yeah, probably just a temporary thing then. Yeah. But I know adults who are don't like the incense during class because I have asthma. Okay, that's not a big deal, but if you're an adult, you shouldn't have asthma. Unless, actually, there's a whole section, I think we touched on this one day, on breathing techniques. And I've never witnessed it myself, but supposedly the breathing techniques in ninjutsu will cure asthma if you have it, once you learn how to breathe properly. If you don't already. A lot of people are, the big thing is mouth breathers. If you breathe through your mouth all the time instead of your nose, that's a problem. So most of the time, if you can, my nose is plugged all the time, so I'm breathing through my mouth a lot, but I'm forcing myself to breathe through my nose. And even on some of the recordings, you can hear me breathing hard on them. It's like, I must force my nose. And they say people who breathe through their mouth have wider jaws. No, people who breathe through their nose have wider jaws. Because your mouth is always closed and your tongue is seated in the roof of your mouth, and when it forms, it just forms better. And people who are mouth breathers, when they grew up doing this, it's narrow, more girly looking here, and stuff. And then they get asthma, and then they get different things. We could talk about that. That's a whole other course.
You missed Jordan trying to knock me out the other night. Side of my head still hurts.
Oh, I forgot about that. Did you have a bruise?
No. It swelled a little bit there Thursday night, but it went back down.
That couldn't have been any more perfect.
No, I said I hit that and just clump. It's like, oh, that did not feel nice.
What was he doing? I think he was doing like Han or something, and
He had the handcuffs on, didn't he?
yeah, they had handcuffs, doing techniques with handcuffs on.
Was it Han or
Jordan did some type of technique where he went down, and Jordan was on one knee, and his head bounced all right off of his knee.
yeah, he didn't get his knee out of the way quite.
That's perfect.
I came down pretty hard too, and
It was
it
perfect.
right on the temple too. Oh.
Yeah.
I hope you caught that on video, because I want to see that in real one.
I think so. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, we got it. So, more things about water here. Remember that some water jugs are designed to be biodegradable, so long-term storage will leak out eventually. Regular plastic is made of fossil fuels, so they can leak chemicals into your water.
Excuse me.
Some of them. Also, do not store plastic jugs of water on cement. Anyone know why? Plastic jugs will leach up chemicals that have been spilled on the cement in the past and put it in your water. So if there's like an oil slick, there used to be an oil slick there, because cement will absorb chemicals, and if you put plastic on it, plastic will do the same thing. And they'll share. So that if there's oils in your cement, it gets into the plastic, and then the plastic puts it into the water. So you should put like a layer or something. Water bladders, such as, don't we have pictures? Didn't we print out a couple?
I thought you had a picture.
Well, I do, but we had a separate printout somewhere for it.
So a backpack bladder type thing?
Actually,
Camping bladders?
Oh, your back up.
actually, I do have pictures right here. Nope. Wait,
You
I
have
have
bladder
a picture
in
of it here. Somewhere. This one. See that? Those are designed for emergencies, so if you're going to lose your water or something, you fill up your bathtub.
Oh, I've never seen one that big.
No? Don't use them. No, I'll tell you why. Some people have seen those and use them, but The water blotters that you can buy and put in your tub for emergencies will do you no good after the fact. Once an emergency has been declared, you need to have water already. Besides, if you do, it will do you no good if the water that comes out of your faucet is brown. Stock up now. So they're saying that, in theory, they're a good idea because I'll move this way a little bit. They're a good idea in theory because they maybe if they say we're going to turn off your water mains tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. for a day, then maybe you could fill it. But if you hear on the radio, there is bacteria in your water, starting to boil water is in effect, then it's too late to fill it. Or if there's a water main break and then the mud gets in and it comes out brown, it's too late to fill it. Or if there's an emergency and they say, whatever, get out of town, it's too late to fill it. And if you have to get out of town, you couldn't. What good would it do anyway?
And that's why I'm grateful I'm on my own water system.
Yeah, that certainly helps. Urban areas are more dangerous. If you plan to visit a nearby river or lake, remember that thousands of other people may have the same idea, and water will be more contaminated because of it, and industries in urban areas. Consider harvesting rainwater and digging your own well. But
I harvest the water too because I got 2 great big ponds.
Yeah. And start stockpiling water. But if you do, try to get it as sterile as you can possibly make it. Oh, now we can do an exercise. Our first exercise. And then we're at the bottom of page 1 here. We're still on water. What? And then we start food on this page. There's the picture, actually. Like I said, in theory, it might be a good idea. And the only time it would work is if they were going to do a planned water outage.
If they're calling for a severe storm where you might lose power for...
Yeah, that might work.
I usually just fill the tub, so I've got a big jug for actual water, and then the tub's for flushing the toilet.
The tub is for flushing the toilet? You mean like you scoop it into the... Oh, that's a good idea.
Because you guys have water regardless of power system, because of the pressure.
Yeah.
Out where I am, until I hook up the generator, we fill the tub, and that's what we use to flush the toilet.
How powerful is your generator again?
10,000
10,000?
watt.
That's a good one.
I went to buy one of the through the wall plugs.
Yeah.
I ran into an issue with it though. It can only handle 7,500.
With what?
There's a through the wall system. So if you have a 7,500 watt or smaller generator, you go to Kent and you buy this thing for $100 and you just drill a hole, snap it together through the wall.
Yeah.
You plug your generator on the outside. It gives you like 8 plugs on the inside.
Okay.
So it works for anything from 7,500 watts down. It wouldn't handle my generator. So
I see.
once I realized that, I threw it back on the shelf. Well, that sucks.
What if you took 2 and split it?
It still plugs into one point on the generator.
Your generator only has 1 outlet.
For that type, yeah. But it doesn't matter. I'm just paying I'll pay the electrician $1,000 and have him wired in the panel.
That's pricey.
Yeah, but it gets it done, and then I have water, heat, lights.
Yeah. 10,000's a good one, yeah. We just bought a 5,000 used from my parents, and another one we're selling for $50. Well, it's still there. Actually, it's in there. Actually, I might as well get it right now, just so you can see how small it is.
It's big. I will buy it if it's small.
It's just 1,000.
Oh, look at this.
1,000 watts.
Cute.
Last time we had an outage was not that long ago. I think we lost power for 4 or 6 hours, and we had everything in this room, all the computer going. And so it's that your AC power there, and you have DC power there. And we ran everything in this room, all the computers, the lights. The only thing we didn't do was have the heater run in here, but it ran this one room by itself, just fine. Wouldn't do the whole house, but.
Okay, my generator was $1,000 after tax, and it
figure out how much one tank will last? Did we write it down?
We did write it down, I can't remember.
So one of these tanks was like 6 hours.
6 hours, yeah.
Now this might be good for,
It's a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke?
I think it's 2, because you have to add
You have to
a
add
little bit of
oil
oil.
in the,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a good size bug out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So if you get that at a little camp, out of the camp, go up and
yeah, or, you know, if you had an electric chainsaw, or if you had an electric car, and you're going somewhere and you run out of power, then you'd have to charge your car again. And if that ever happens, maybe we'll use it, but if, in the meantime, we'll sell it if we have an opportunity, but otherwise.
Yeah, I will buy it.
You will? Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's good for $50.
Yeah, right. We changed the spark plug on it. It's got a choke on it.
It's good for,
Fuel cut off.
it's good because it's not big and I can put it in my boat and
It's so small too.
if I go in on an island, sometimes you need it. So.
Just leave it. Okay, where do we left it? Leave it. Oh yes, an exercise.
oh, the exercise
Which
wasn't
one?
selling the generator?
Nope. Unless we do an like an auction right here, and I'll be an auctioneer.
Oh, I'm good.
You're
$50 over here. I do it for $55. I do it for $55.
We start from 20.
Start from 20.
Well, I'll see if I can get them up to 100 for you.
Just better be careful. That's the problem.
And 50, I will say pass.
And 45. So let him take it. Yeah.